Daniel versus Joreuz, a match that I think we've had once before a long time ago, where they played 3 games on NA servers and 3 on EU, but we're not going to be using that format today. Today, we're using the classic new format that has been used for these cross-region games, which is a coin flip to see which server we're going to have more of, which went in favor of US East and Daniel. And so Joreuz got to pick the order. He decided he would rather play Daniel in 3 straight on US East and then finish on EU. So the task at hand for Joreuz is to steal at least 1 game so he can make it to his own server games. Otherwise, he might just get swept fully on US East. So a bit of a risk for him, but a risk that he is willing to take because he wants to end the game on his servers. Daniel to the ceiling. Oh my goodness. The flick is sent to the crossbar. Joreuz is going to attack right back. No ceiling touch from him. Double. Might have been there for him if Daniel didn't clean it up. This matchup between the 2 guys that last time they played on stream, I think was one of the most anticipated matches in all of ones. You guys right now are certainly talking about Zen and who are we going to get Zen against next. Back in the day, that was Daniel. Who could Daniel play against next? Could he show that he could beat absolutely everyone? There was certainly hype around that, and I'll never forget that because Daniel really helped make the channel what it is today. So I am forever in debt to him in that incredible run. If you're wondering how it ended last time, it didn't really end in his match against Joreuz, but it ended up being a perfect split. It was a 3-3 tie. The only match against the top players that Daniel did tie before eventually ending his streak with a loss to Drally, which actually wasn't a top player at the time. He had just kind of started out, and his win against Daniel is really what put him on the map. Daniel had a couple different resets now, really far away from the net. Very slow dribbles, ones that Joreuz feels like he can just react to when Daniel takes the shot. A bit in contrast to what we saw from Nupo earlier, which attacked the net so strong through the process of air dribbling, the defender could not nearly be as patient and calm like Joreuz has been able to on Daniel's dribbles. Joreuz is going to get the first goal. It takes over half the game to get it as these 2 strike back and forth on each other. It's going to be the low 50 at the end of Joreuz's dribble that does it. Special K, thank you to 6 months of Tier 1. And of course, after 2.5 minutes of midfield play, we get a quick goal and a kickoff to put us right back where we were before. Daniel with a kickoff possession. Joreuz is electing to head back to the back corner to grab his 100 and let Daniel attack. So far, that's worked out just fine for him on defense. Daniel, another slow-mo dribble, but this time the final touch is so strong. It's such a contrast. I hate to say it again, but Nupo's dribbles were so aggressively fast, and Daniel, like a ballerina on the field, slowly moving through the air and then launching one final touch that this time Joreuz can't react to. Daniel, another dribble. This time looked like he was trying to hover behind the ball right when Joreuz challenged in order to 50. But he was not in the way when it came time for Joreuz to touch the ball. Daniel winning the race to the midfield. Playing ground bounce dribble. Not something that you see from him that often. A lot of times when given space and possession, he is taken into those wall-to-air dribbles. Joreuz falling from the ceiling. He's just really trying to protect this ball after finding himself way over the top of it. Daniel collecting all the way from his back wall, able to get into Joreuz's corner. He's going to steal the midfield as well. Backing off as he knows he's going to be granted a possession here. Joreuz is not going to be able to stay on the ball any longer after his touch. Daniel just barely missed. Crossbar down. Joreuz staying alive late in this game. I mean, even if that had gone in, he would still be alive, but it's so low scoring that it almost feels like the next goal could be the game winner. 40 seconds left on the clock. That goal is going to go to Joreuz, who is able to steal the ball away from Daniel. He's been playing out of his box this game. It's been working just fine. Not normally a strategy that's very effective against a guy like Daniel. Letting him attack you over and over again be really tough to handle. Joreuz has done well on defense. He's handing the ball over to Daniel again. Daniel's going to be able to get a smooth carry unchallenged by Joreuz. Flicking post behind his setup on defense, and then a double jump over the top of him. This time he will be able to side flip it in. We saw him do something similar earlier, but it was just a bit too much on it to where he could not corral it in for a goal. 13 seconds. Crucial kickoff. Joreuz faking into his back corner. Daniel is pre-jumping. He's in the air. Back down to the ground. Interesting dribble. Does get stopped. Daniel, is he going to try and keep it up? He will. Not a lot of boost to work with, so it's got to be a long-distance flick. Joreuz is in trouble here. He swung so far away, and Daniel actually put it in the one spot that Joreuz could save. It seems like if he put it somewhere on the other side of the net, it would have been just fine. But instead, he put it right into the top right corner. Maybe he was expecting Joreuz to panic and jump down, and that corner would be available. Daniel now starting his full field dribble. This is the classic way he likes to win once. Joreuz gets a tap on the final touch from Daniel. At the moment when he might have taken it down for a reset, slowed the ball down, he got one extra touch, which can often make defenders miss, but not Joreuz in this case. He has been just about as close to perfection in defense against Daniel's plays. Backflip. Daniel has to be careful here not to let Joreuz get away to the ball. He's able to get into his corner boost. He outplays Joreuz, and it will be a game 1 win on US East. Joreuz was so close to being able to steal this corner and make something out of this play, but Daniel, with the precision movement, does well to keep the ball away and take the first game. Game number 2. Yeah, it sparkles. Daniel rocking the card that I associate with Chronic, but I am no Rocket League fashion expert, so I'm not about to sit here and tell you for sure that Chronic made the preset or anything. Joreuz is going to try out a new Solid Teams decal. He played game 1 in the Falcons decal, but now he's in Vitality's. Daniel, another smooth flight through the air, almost in slow-mo, but it doesn't matter when he's as efficient as he is. It'll be a double reset. Daniel, strong first shot. It's like the sideswipe shots, I like to call him, as he jumps directly into the ball as he gets the reset to launch it out. And then pre-flips to touch. I mean, Joreuz was nowhere around. Joreuz wasn't even in the camera yet by the time he had scored that. Another wall to air dribble for Daniel. This is normally how it goes when you let him get to his position over and over again. Okay, well, as I was saying, this is normally how it goes. He gives you absolute free counterattacks after a mistaken air dribble. I mean, that's not even how Joreuz was getting him earlier. Daniel wasn't making clear mistakes like he just did. He was still hitting good shots. Just Joreuz was matching him on defense. The way Daniel's been playing off the wall, no surprise that he takes this opportunity. Gets credited with the save. It might have been posted in. It seemed wide. Roll this up the back wall. Has to be careful with the 18 boost he has. Now he's got 0, but it doesn't matter because Joreuz is trying to challenge him in reverse there. Joreuz gets bumped off the ball and has boost, and it just got put into a position that he felt he had no play from. He wanted to be a little bit more back where he could intercept it, but he never figured out what he wanted to do after falling into the position that Daniel bumped him into. Shot from Joreuz saved on the goal line, and Daniel actually managed not to fall into the net either, so his counterattack will be just inside the far post. Perfection as far as defense to counterattack goes. Joreuz had just about landed on the ground, it seems like, when the ball was already launched over 100 km/h to the net. Yo, Guzzy, thank you for the tier 1 for 5 months. Daniel wall to air dribble. Joreuz is going to try and change the way he tries to defend against them by coming off the ceiling. Was it all headed to this result eventually? How long can you last against Daniel's dribbles? He kept him very, not scoreless, but very low scoring in the first game, but already 5. The first minute 30 for Daniel this time around. He has the counterattacks as well. Wait a second. It almost felt savable since Daniel didn't put any heat on it, but kickoffs are going to be essential for a comeback like this one. 5 goals to make up. Will this be the first? It should be. Daniel with the goal line flick. Thought he had bought himself time to grab Joreuz's corner, but he did not. Joreuz has had a really tough time with kickoffs. Talking about how he's going to need solid kickoffs to make his way back. I think I've seen 80% of the kickoffs going into Daniel wall to air dribbles, which the first place to defend against them is right at midfield after every countdown. You can just stop him from ever getting to the spot in the first place. There's no better way to prevent him from styling on you. Daniel's found another position to take it to the air. Joreuz first touch reset near the ceiling. He's going to have to catch and cut this hard in order to get it on target. What did Joreuz do? He made some kind of mistake in recovery, and Daniel can just kind of rush the ball. He actually took it slow and then is forced to double. Joreuz takes it away, but I think there was a missed wave dash or something that if Daniel had just rushed it to net as quick as possible, he might have been able to score. He's got himself another wall to air dribble. Has the reset and just falls to the ground, and it's just too well positioned. He doesn't need to do anything else. It looks like he almost drops the controller. It's because he's in just the right spot to threaten the flip the whole way, and then uses it the last second. Joreuz can't react. (7-2). Daniel trying to run it up. Are we going to see a pogo from him? Oh, he tried. For the fans, Joreuz counters him. But you love to see it. He didn't commit hard enough, if you ask me. It seems like he was like, should I pogo? Should I pogo? Yeah, I'll do it last second. And so he didn't turn down enough in time. Joreuz, this is exactly how his last air dribble started too, where right after his first touch, he was aiming so far away from the net. There's really nothing he could do to get back. Daniel playing a bit of keep away. Joreuz going to try and pinch it. Great camera work from Daniel to see what Joreuz was doing. He might not have known that pinch was coming without the check. He probably would have heard the jump, but certainly had a better read on it with the reverse cam. Joreuz, great touch into the corner of the wall to set up this dribble, but not really much he could do with it as he made his way to the net. Pogo shot, count it. Daniel hit a pogo this game. Joreuz wants to go next, so we will oblige. Did I type Dan me? Is that what I typed in? Game number 2 goes to Daniel. Did I really type Dan me? Wait, it just said Dan me the whole time. Chat, have you guys been roasting me for that? That seems like something you would absolutely be roasting me for, and I don't think I I don't think I saw you guys roasting me. What does Dan me mean? All right. So this is the danger. This is the danger that Joreuz ran. A potential sweep all on US East. Game number 3. Joreuz got to pick the server order because Daniel got to play an extra game on US East, and Joreuz picked all of Daniel's games first. Not a bad idea as long as he wins one of them, and he has to win one of them. So this will be the deciding factor. If Daniel's able to sweep in all his US East games, you got to think Joreuz might rethink next time he's given the choice. But to be fair, Joreuz actually has better EU ping than US East ping than he used to. He has 92 ping here. He was actually willing to play the whole game on US East if Daniel had wanted to, but Daniel said, let's just do the back and forth, since that seems fair. Joreuz, air dribble resets. Daniel was expecting the reset to be used higher, so he's jumping up in order to prep for that. Only 919 followers to go to what? What are we at right now? I hide my followers from my overlay. Daniel, a good save. Leading to a goal on the other way. The other end, I should say. Joreuz is in the Octane now. Played Fennec the first 2 games. This is a bit more of a classic car. In fact, did Joreuz use this car in his epic comeback against Moxie? I don't know why, but seeing this kind of brown Octane reminds me of that. Daniel with a much more aggressive air dribble. This is the kind of air dribbles that Nupo was using in the previous match that we watched. Very directed at the net, very quick. You actually watched Joreuz's perspective, and he didn't have ball cam on a ton, so maybe he wasn't expecting as fast of a dribble. Every other dribble so far from Daniel this series has been a lofty floater that he just slowly gets multiple touches on before eventually scoring. Daniel with the ceiling reset this time, flicking to the crossbar. Joreuz cleans it up and has boost to spare. I don't know why he's in reverse. Obviously, that does not stop him from launching a second goal. He's able to approach it perfectly if you ask him. Joreuz wave dash kickoff. Really late wave dash though. Don't think you want to be floating that much when going for that. The fact that Daniel was able to land and beat him to the boost is probably a good indication of that. Daniel late resets. Doesn't use it but falls to the ground and catches it to pop it past Joreuz. Daniel has such a wide array on offense. Oh, he does use it. It was a wave dash. I thought he just landed. But watching it in slow-mo, he did dash right at the last moments. Daniel putting on a show. First touch is almost away from the net. And it didn't work this time. I mean, I'm a believer the whole way. I don't know why he'd want to tap it to the midfield instead of towards the net, but maybe it's because he wants 5 resets on his way to the net. It also works to get 0 and let Joreuz score. Daniel back to his corner. Joreuz chasing him down. Trying not to use any of the boosts that he does have because Daniel's certain to get the back corners. Joreuz should reset at the midfield. Daniel undercutting the ball or going over the top of it to keep it on the ground. Not something we've seen from him in the past few minutes of these of these games. Joreuz wanted a psycho but didn't hit it. Instead, he's going to give Daniel a freebie to pay back for his previous freebie. Daniel, a kickoff win. I mean, that's really been the difference, I think. Obviously, he's been playing well through the air. I think getting as many opportunities as he has off the kickoff, though, is just never going to be stopped, no matter how good your defense is. We've seen Daniel do a bit of a mix-up, mostly standard, though, to pay a bit closer attention to ways he's been attacking it. Even when he loses the kickoff, which I felt like he kind of did this previous one, he still really ends up winning it as he gets first possession. Is he going to try and go for the pogo? He got the pogo, but just barely. Joreuz is going to get a ceiling reset as he floats down to an easy tap-in, but this was a pogo technically, but just about none of the benefits of a pogo when you don't bounce at all. Joreuz flipping into his corner. Daniel puts the ball right behind him into a position that Joreuz feels like he can touch as he tries to backflip towards. Maybe thinking he is jumping off the back wall. Daniel, I'm not sure where you're going, bud. I don't think it takes a genius to know that after that flip you're getting scored on, but maybe, oh, he just got faked, I guess. He thought Joreuz was going to go quickly. Joreuz waits to take it on the second bounce after the Daniel pre-jump. Daniel's back in the air, though. Able to perfectly intercept. Doesn't get the boost, but does get the bump. And flicking to the back wall. The continuation is an 8th, so a 3-goal lead. Joreuz needs to win this game. And the hopes are definitely still alive. If he can just get the series to shift over to EU for the finish, could be all he needs. Daniel trying to boom top right. Now looking to play keep away, but Joreuz has saved all his boost from the kickoff, so should be in a fine position. Now he's got to dribble all the way from his back corner. Daniel is already up, hiding behind the ball, onto the ceiling, back to the ground, and he convinced Joreuz to ultimately roll the ball right at him. So credit to Daniel. It's not easy to do that kind of movement on defense and not ever put yourself out of position, and very clearly led to Joreuz taking a weaker shot than he would have otherwise taken. Daniel is pre-jumping again in defense. Joreuz can't do anything about it. In fact, this Joreuz not even moving. Yeah, he is turtled in net. He's going to let Daniel do a no-look double, but he missed it. He missed the no-look double with no defender. And he's going to throw the GGs. So to be a full sweep on US East, Joreuz not able to steal a game from him. So Daniel styles his way to $100 in a 3-0 sweep, courtesy of the homies Green Chef.